For years, hospitals used what they called a flat sheet. And they would use a sheet that was 66 by 104, 66 by 108, or 66 by 115. And you know, when I checked into the room this week, I go up in the hotel and I talked to my son and I said, we really have to develop a sheet for the motel hotel trade. Because there's nothing I hate worse than when I go to lay on the bed, you roll over a couple times and the sheet comes on top. And what they do is they use flat sheets. They don't use contours in general. And the reason they don't use contours in general is because the elastic in those contours break down, they don't work, they're more expensive, and therefore they just use a flat sheet. And they'll use the same size sheet for the top and bottom. They have one SKU. In hospitals, for years, that's all they used were flat sheets. And they use, like I said, generally a 66 by 104, 108, or 115. And by going to that sheet, you know, they would tuck it in, and generally that bottom sheet generally wouldn't hold too well. So what they did, they used a draw sheet and they would tuck it around. And they could never go with a contour sheet because the only kind of contour sheets they had were woven contour sheets. And the problem with woven contour sheets is they had no stretching to them. So if you had a hospital that had a 36 by 80 mattress, you had to have a contour sheet for it. You had to have one for a 36 by 84, and you had to have one for a 36 by 88 sheet. So you had to have 3 different sheets for the bottom sheet, then you had to have another sheet for the top sheet. So they didn't have it. So maybe 15 years ago, companies came out and they developed what they called a knitted sheet. And the knitted sheet would fit all those mattresses, and then on top of that, it would also fit over an overlay. So if you had an overlay, it would stretch to fit that. And it was wonderful. Now here was the selling point. You know, you talk about, infection control nurses, let's talk about epidemiologists, okay? The skincare nurses. Okay, they were concerned about the skin. As you know, and I don't know, being that you've been in the business a long time, obviously skin care is a major concern in these hospitals today. They'll use the special ointments, the special mattresses, etc. And what causes skin breakdown are basically 4 things. Heat buildup. So we use these mattresses. Everybody at home, up here, we have a nice mattress pad on our mattresses, right? But in the hospitals, okay, they have the plastic and they don't use anything. They put a bed sheet on top of it. If you close your eyes, put your hand on that mattress, in about a minute you're going to feel heat. Not only do you have a mattress that has a fluid-resistant cover on it, you have a foam that also doesn't breathe. So you have a good heat buildup, which isn't promoting healing for the patient's skin, etc. So what we've done is we've created a knitted fitted sheet that also is knitted, so when the patient moves, the sheet moves with him. It stretches. If you have a woven sheet, the patient slides on it and causes shearing, which also causes skin breakdown. So number one, you got to worry about the heat buildup, okay? Because you got a mattress that doesn't breathe, and then you have a foam many times that doesn't breathe. 2 things causing heat. Now, nurses are supposed to roll those patients continuously. Staffing is getting less, patients are getting more severe, everything isn't being done the way it is. So what we want to try to do is address it in every way that we can. So what we developed with a sheet called the Duo Air sheet, and it's a knitted sheet. I'm going to pass around 2 sheets for you. One of them is our sheet, which is called the Duo Air. The other one is probably the industry standard sheet that most people use, which is just a jersey knit sheet. So take that, Bill. And then if you take this sheet of ours, look at it, you'll see a unique weave. It's thicker. It's thicker and it is a more open weave, so you get better air ventilation. Not only will you get better air ventilation, but when you process the sheet, it will process as quick as that sheet will because of the design of the sheet. And they're color-coded on the hems, so if they're using a flat sheet, I think most of the industry has gone to the knitted sheet. Now, if you go in and you talk to your facilities, the first thing they're going to say is that they're hard to fold. Because generally, if you go into a hospital, for example, they have a flat work ironer, they take that sheet through, they fold them up, and they come out flat, and they look like this. Okay? That sheet comes out, and it's kind of awkward. And I don't remember how Fred processes them, but a lot of people will say, well, they're a real problem to put on the cards, they're hard to put on the shelves, etc. What do we do with them? And what I tell them to do with them is get them in a hamper bag, put them in a bag, put them on your cart, let them pull them out of the bag. And if you talk to someone in housekeeping, they say, oh no, we could never do that because our product has to look perfect. We want it to be neat and everything else like that. The bottom line is, if nursing is using a flat sheet now, and you take them to the knitted sheet, and this is what I've told several of my customers, I said, okay, if you think it has to be folded, go to nursing, let them use it for a month. Let them try it for a month. If at the end of the month, tell them that you can't use them because you can't fold them. Say, is there any way you'd accept them not folded? If they have to make a choice of using that knitted sheet or having them folded, they'll take them not folded. Folding is not as important as many people think it is. It's just not. If it's a battle between nursing getting that sheet or not getting the sheet, no, if nursing says, we want it and you will fold it, and administration backs them, then they will get it and they will fold it. But I don't think it needs to be fought. Now, the difference is, okay, chances are they're using a knitted sheet, so those battles have already been fought. Okay, now the question is, why would they use this sheet? This sheet is more expensive. Throughout the hospital, when I started out earlier today, I said, you know, we try to develop the best products for the right need. Okay, this product does not have mysterious disappearance. The ambulance companies don't take the bottom sheets out. The ambulance companies, they take out the blankets. They take out the patient gowns because the patient's in them. They roll them over onto that, et cetera. So the benefit of this is the way these end up going away is they wear out. Okay, this gown, this sheet will outwear any other knitted sheet on the market. And here's our guarantee, okay, on all of our products. And this is basically our pitch. When I go into an account, I say, you know what, especially if it's a new account, they know you, they trust the messenger, hopefully. But if I'm going into an account that I've never seen before, I said, you know, you don't know me from Adam. You know, I'm telling you, I got a great product. You don't know if I have a great product, because every guy comes in and tells you he has a great product. But here's what we'll do. I'm a patient person. I'll put my money where my mouth is. You know, order a case or two. I'll work with every guy here, case or two. I said, you can do this for me. Okay, my sheet's 20% more than yours, 30% more. I'll guarantee you on a price-life ratio, every product that we sell will outwear the competition at a different price. So I'm going to trust you to come up with the mechanism and how you want to really judge it. But I trust you to be honest, because we're not looking for a customer, we're looking for partners, okay? And every one of you guys know who your customers are and who your partners are. And if you go to any one of those people that you trust to be honest with you, you know, certainly give them this offer. And basically what I say to them is, you know, if it takes you 3 months, 4 months, I'm a patient person to build this business. You know, I don't care if I make $100 million sale tomorrow or if it's in 5 years down the road. Let me prove to you that our product works. Try that product. If you don't think it was worth the difference, don't pay it. Pay what you think it's worth or whatever. You know, so let's say, you know, we sell that product for about $68 a dozen. You can buy the other product as low as $42 a dozen. $68 isn't cheap. We're selling a commodity item. Okay, so if you're looking out there and saying, you know, well, I can't compete, my prices is too high. I'm telling you right now, the price on this sheet is high. But you'll get paid on that sheet, and you'll make money on that sheet at $68. Okay, but if we have to sell the other sheet, then I can find a cheaper product. But that's not what we're about. We're about value. And the value that we're going to give the customer for using this sheet is better than any other product on the market. End of story. So